Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down at the abyss of the unknown. That's life. That's decision-making. And that, my friend, is uncertainty in all its terrifying glory. Yet, the greatest leaders, investors, and thinkers don't just tolerate uncertainty, they embrace it. But how? Enter The Uncertainty Solution by John Jennings, a guide to navigating the unknown without losing your mind. In this audiobook by AudiblePages, we'll break down Jennings' key lessons, dissect the ways uncertainty influences our choices, and most importantly, figure out how to stop letting it paralyze us. You'll laugh, you'll nod in agreement, and by the end, you'll walk away with a playbook for handling the unpredictability of life like a pro. Chapter 1. The myth of certainty. One of the biggest misconceptions we have is that certainty is possible. We crave it. We plan for it. We seek data, numbers, and expert opinions in hopes of making 100% foolproof decisions. But here's the truth. Certainty is a unicorn, beautiful, imagined, and non-existent in the real world. Jennings emphasizes that instead of searching for certainty, we need to shift our mindset to probability-based thinking. Take investing, for example. People chase hot stock tips believing they've found a sure thing. Spoiler alert, there's no such thing. Even the most successful investors like Warren Buffett work with probabilities, not certainties. Think about it. Why do so many experts make wildly different predictions about the same event? Because the future is unpredictable. Economists, analysts, and pundits make educated guesses, but that's all they are, guesses. So instead of demanding certainty, learn to weigh probabilities. What are the odds of a particular outcome? What variables influence it? Making peace with the unknowable makes you a better decision maker. Lesson: accept that uncertainty is the default setting of life. Chapter 2. The illusion of control. Ever felt like you had everything under control, only to have reality slap you in the face? That's because control is largely an illusion. Our brains love creating narratives that make us feel in charge, but, as Jennings points out, most of what happens in life is beyond our control. Think about it. Did you control where you were born? Your genetic makeup? The random encounters that led to pivotal moments in your life? Not a chance. What you can control is your response to uncertainty. Instead of resisting, adapt. Be flexible. The people who thrive in uncertainty aren't the ones trying to control it. They're the ones who learn how to dance with it. A classic example is the airline industry. Airlines must deal with unpredictable weather, mechanical failures, and shifting demand. The best-run airlines don't try to prevent uncertainty. They prepare for it. They develop contingency plans, train for emergencies, and stay agile. The same applies to our personal lives. Expecting the unexpected can save us a lot of stress. Lesson: focus on controlling your reactions, not the randomness of life. Chapter 3. Decision-making in the fog. If uncertainty is inevitable, then decision-making in uncertainty is a superpower. Jennings offers a brilliant framework. When faced with uncertainty, think in bets. Ask yourself, what are the odds? Instead of seeking the right answer, seek the better answer given the available information. This is the approach used by professional poker players and top investors. They don't expect to be right all the time, but they maximize their chances of being right most of the time. So, the next time you're agonizing over a choice, ask yourself, what's the worst-case scenario? What's the likelihood of each outcome? What's the best decision based on what I currently know? The beauty of this approach is that it removes the pressure of perfection. You don't need absolute certainty to move forward, just a strong probability that your choice is a good one. Plus, you can always adjust as new information emerges. Lesson: good decision-making isn't about certainty. It's about stacking the odds in your favor. Chapter 4. The power of, I don't know. Nobody likes to admit they don't know something. It makes us feel weak. But in reality, embracing I don't know is one of the most powerful tools in uncertainty management. Why? Because it opens the door to curiosity, adaptability, and better decisions. Jennings argues that successful people aren't the ones with all the answers. They're the ones who ask the best questions. Instead of pretending to have everything figured out, they explore, experiment, and remain open to new information. History is filled with examples of people who succeeded because they questioned assumptions. Scientists, entrepreneurs, and pioneers embraced their ignorance and used it as a launchpad for discovery. Instead of fearing uncertainty, they learned to leverage it. Lesson: saying "I don't know" is not a failure. It's an invitation to learn. Chapter 5. The Zen of Uncertainty. At the end of the day, uncertainty isn't something to fear, it's something to work with. Think of life like surfing. You can't control the waves, but you can learn how to ride them. Jennings encourages us to develop a mindset of resilience, adaptability, and curiosity. One of the best ways to practice this? Exposure therapy. Deliberately put yourself in uncertain situations. Travel to new places without a strict itinerary. Try learning a new skill where failure is inevitable at first. The more you train yourself to be comfortable with uncertainty, the less it controls you. Another strategy is to focus on long-term thinking. Instead of obsessing over short-term outcomes, ask yourself, will this decision matter a year from now? 5 years from now? This zoomed-out perspective reduces stress and helps clarify what truly deserves your energy. Lesson: the goal is not to eliminate uncertainty, but to become skilled at navigating it. Conclusion: your new relationship with uncertainty. So, where do we go from here? If you take away just one thing from the uncertainty solution, let it be this: life will never be predictable, but that doesn't mean you have to live in fear. By shifting your mindset, focusing on probabilities over certainties, and embracing the unknown with curiosity, you can transform uncertainty from a source of stress into a source of strength. So go ahead, step off the cliff of certainty. The parachute of adaptability will catch you. And if it doesn't, well, at least you'll have one heck of a story to tell. Final thought: uncertainty isn't your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. Now go out there and get comfortable with the unknown.